Hello amazing artists, this is Mr. D, and for today's video I'm going to show you how to make a paper bag kite. So these are the materials that you will need for today. You will need a paper bag, you will need some tissue paper or possibly construction paper, but tissue paper would work a little bit better. You will need a long piece of string or yarn. This is a really long piece. You will need 3 popsicle sticks, some scissors, and some glue. Okay, so you can go ahead and pause the video while you look for those materials or have an adult help you look for those materials around your house, and then you can just come back to the video when you're ready. If you are ready, you can go ahead and let the video play and we will begin. So today we're going to focus on shapes, more specifically a certain geometric shape, and remember, geometric shapes are man-made shapes that are perfect. You won't find them in nature. And we're going to focus on a rectangle because a lot of what we're doing today is going to be, they're going to be made out of rectangles. So a rectangle has 4 sides, and 2 of the sides are longer than the other 2 sides. So you can tell this paper bag is in the shape of a rectangle. The 2 ends are both the same width, and the 2 sides are both the same width, but the sides are longer than the ends are. Okay, so it's sort of like a square, except you've got 2 sides that are longer than the other 2 sides. So we are going to start by opening up our paper bag. And we're going to make sure that it's sitting nice and steady. And once we've got it sitting, we're going to flip it over to where it's on the back or on the bottom of our paper bag, because we're going to want to cut a little hole there in the center. So what we need to do is I'm going to stick my hand in there and fold it up just a little bit so that we can fold it right there. And then I'm going to cut, don't cut a really big slit, cut just a really little small slit, almost just enough for some yarn to fit through. Watch your fingers as you're cutting. So I cut just a small little slit right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the long piece of string that I cut, and I am going to go up through the bag and just fit my piece of string through that hole that I just cut. And there's my yarn. Let me try to pull it through, and there it's through. So after we've got our yarn pulled through, what we're going to do is we're going to take a popsicle stick, because this popsicle stick is going to keep this yarn in place so that it doesn't go back through my hole, or that hole that we created. And I am just going to tie the string to my popsicle stick. So I'm going to make a knot, make it tight so that it won't come loose. And after I make a tight knot, I'm going to double knot it, so I'm going to make another knot. Make sure it's on there tight. And then I'm going to even triple knot it, so I'm going to make a 3rd knot. And make sure it goes on there very tightly. So after I've done that, I'm going to cut off this extra piece, not too close to the knot because we don't want it to come undone. And then if we pull this string back, see how it's not going to go through the bag because our popsicle stick is holding it in place. So now let's go ahead and go to the bottom of that string, that long piece of string, because we're going to want to create a little thing that we can hold as we're flying our kite. So we're going to make like a plus sign or an X out of the other 2 popsicle sticks, and we're going to take this string and we're going to wrap it around the X like this. So I'm going to start on the top left, and I need a lot more string probably because we're going to tie it several times around it. So the top left, come down, and then go right back to the top left again. Come down, go back to the top left again, then start top right, go to the bottom left, top right, bottom left, top right, bottom left. Make sure that that's good. Maybe top to bottom again. And then we're going to tie off the knot. Scoot it down to make sure it's in the center. And then tie the knot. Then let's double knot it. And finally triple knot it just to make sure that it does not come undone. And now that it's triple knotted, we can cut off just a little bit, not too close to the knot, but a little bit of the extra yarn. And see how it gives us like an X that we can hold on to as we're flying our kite. Now you could just go and fly the kite like this. However, we may want to decorate it just a little bit, and that's what our tissue paper is for. So let's move the kite for a minute. And we're going to want to cut long rectangles from our tissue paper as well. So what I'm going to do is I've got 3 different pieces of tissue paper. I've got purple, magenta, and like a teal. So I'm going to take those, they're laying right on top of each other. I'm going to fold them over. And that way, the rectangles that we create, we're just going to create like this and then cut it down the middle. So actually, what I'm going to do first, it will be easier if I go ahead and cut it down the middle like this. We're just going to cut just so that edge isn't there and doesn't cause them to fold. We're going to cut just like this. Make a straight vertical line with your scissors. Okay, and now we're going to create and cut our rectangles. So I want them about maybe that size. So I'm cutting another straight vertical line to try to make these rectangles. So there's one set. Now I'll make the next set about the same width as the first set. And I don't think that we'll need another set, but just in case we do, let's go ahead and make one. And we'll start with this edge over on the right hand side. Try to make it the same width as the other ones. And try to make it as much of a vertical line cut as you can. Okay. So, let's get rid of the extra papers. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start with my glue, undoing it, and I'm going to start by using this first rectangle right here of tissue paper, and on the top of it, just on one side, I'm going to put some glue on it. After I put glue, I'm going to stick it right inside of the bag and attach it to the bag like that. And they're basically going to make little streamers that come down from the bag. So after I've glued that, I can come back to the magenta, and on the top of it, just like I did with the top of the blue, add some glue just on one side. I can go stick it inside of the bag and press against it, and now I've got a blue and magenta streamer. So now I'll flip it to the other side. Let's take a purple. Again, you just need to do one side and the top of one side, and we'll go ahead and let's put it on the side. So So once I've got it, I'm going to press against it, make sure it's glued down. Let's take another purple this time, glue the top, and let's add it for the other side. So now I've got magenta, teal, purple on the two sides. So on this side, let's add another magenta and teal, but let's swap sides with them. So since the teal is on this side, let's put it on the left side this time. So I'm going to take a rectangle, put some glue on the top of it, and then attach it right inside just like this. And then I'm going to take a magenta, glue, put some glue on the top of it, and then put it just inside. Like that. We're going to make sure that our paper bag now is all folded out correctly. And now you'll see we've got our kite. Let me move these so we can see it just a little bit better. Move these strips of tissue paper out of the way. Let's move this glue out of the way. So here is our kite. The top of it has that popsicle stick that's going to hold it in place so it won't float off. We've got the streamers coming out of the bottom. We've got the long piece of string attached to the little X that we can hold on to. And you can take it outside and the wind should pick it up. Take it into the wind. Make sure to hold on to your X. Make sure to ask an adult before you just go outside, or see if they will go outside with you. So hopefully you will have some fun playing with your kite. And I hope you all have an awesome rest of your day, and goodbye.